Isn't it time you got to know your technology leaders on a very real level? Welcome to our monthly Third Thursdays podcast series. You're listening to Off the Record with GTRA, and I'm your host, Kelly Yoka. So grab your coffee or cocktail and join us for our casual yet intimate and thought-provoking expose on our top council members, ambassadors, technology innovators, and thought leaders. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Today, I'm here with Kevin Lancaster, CEO of Winvale. Kevin, you and I have known each other personally for well over a decade. But how did I not know that you were an ice hockey coach at the United States Naval Academy in your free time? What's that about?
Well, I have a day job and I have a night job. It's one of the great things, great joys of my life is after 5 o'clock and on the weekends, I try to spend as much time as I can with my kids and my son. Nick is very involved, a fanatic, if you will, when it comes to all things ice hockey, Washington Capitals, NHL. And so said instead of sitting on the side, can't say sidelines, so sitting on the outside of the boards and looking in, to lace up the skates and go in and help out the little guys, and it's been amazing. I've been doing it for about 2 years. I'm coaching with a couple guys I grew up playing ice hockey with. Now we're coaching our kids. So
very touching.
Cool.
Keeps us grounded, right?
Absolutely. Nothing like being on the ice with 75, 6, 7, and 8-year-olds.
A lot of patience. Well, listen, prior to co-founding Winvale, I think an interesting tidbit before we get into all business is some positions you held at like SunTrust Banks and the University of Maryland's Bingham Center for Entrepreneurship, which is a world-class think tank on enterprise creation. So I'm curious, how did this help you as an entrepreneur, and what did you learn that helped you start your own company?
Yeah, I was very entrepreneurial minded, and an older brother, 10 years my senior, who was very entrepreneurial, started his own little catering companies and successful real estate practice, and so I kind of had a fantastic mentor. And I was finding myself during my college years, ended up getting a history degree from the University of Maryland, but I needed to be in touch with business community, and entrepreneurship. So an internship with the Dingman Center, and it was fantastic because I was exposed to so many just interesting just conversations, happen chance meetings, got to review business plans, kind of get firsthand experience and understanding what entrepreneurism was all about. So that was a great foundation. And then, working at SunTrust Bank, I worked on the retail side of the bank, but where I'm located, pretty close to NSA and a lot of the government contractors in the central part of Maryland. I dealt with a lot of government contractors and understood their financing needs. And so that kind of segued into this Winvale thing about 12 years ago. So kind of a blend of entrepreneurialism, exposure to, finance and accounting, banking, and, what rounded out as I was working with a ton of government contractors, and again, in this area, it's kind of what you do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it certainly is very needed and growing rapidly in the technology space. So, I know one of the other organizations you're involved in is the Chesapeake Regional Technologies Council, which I know it focuses on the growth and diversity within the technology sector in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Annapolis. So, what are some of the hot topics this year, ranging from, either leadership or strategy, technology trends? What's impacting the U.S. public sector?
Yeah, it's great. We're actually able to have a great session on this not too long ago over at the Tech Council. But it's being involved in the Tech Council. It's a fantastic way for me to highlight the types of technologies that are in this Baltimore, Washington, Annapolis region. Is a wealth of technologies, and we actually attract a ton of organizations from all over the country that are coming into this area, DC area in particular, to set up shop and start selling to the public sector. So we see a lot of the trends, commercial trends, being brought into this area, overlaying that with obviously a lot of the big issues that our government's facing. So hot topics, areas of focus, certainly cybersecurity. The president announced the $14 billion committed to cybersecurity. So we're seeing a lot in the area of cybersecurity solutions, big data, obviously analytics. Think about the mass of data that the government deals with day in and day out. So those are two pretty common areas. And then part of your question was about how these companies deal with the public sector and strategy. And I would say one of the best ways is to get involved with GTRA. So hopefully there's a little plug for you guys there.
Well, thank you for that. Really going back to your comment and point on the budget, what's interesting is we're seeing so much of the government budget being slashed and it's being talked about, obviously, all over the news. So it's a really great thing that we're seeing the increase in budget, the significant increase being focused on what we really do need, that cybersecurity and big data, which, of course, obviously, we delve a lot into. So, shifting gears now to, you're actually your own podcast host of your own show, Selling Government. So what I think will be interesting to a lot of our listeners, especially the technology companies, in particular, a lot of the small businesses, new and emerging companies, or companies who are really just trying to launch into the federal marketplace. Some of the common challenges that they may have, and some of their questions, that I hear a lot of the time, what's the typical time frame, for their return on investment? Like, how long does it take for the government? What certifications they need? What are things you can help?
No, those are topics that we cover because I get those questions day in and day out from not just technology vendors or manufacturers, but all types of organizations. I mean, vehicles, furniture manufacturers, management consultants. But the podcast itself is there to help shed light on some of these topics. I mean, we're at Winvale, we're big believers in transparency, and so part of that is putting the data out there, helping companies make better decisions in this marketplace. So don't hide the fact that if you're a cloud technology and you're looking to get into the public sector, you're going to have to consider going through FISMA. You're going to, if you're providing a mobile platform or device, even if it's not carrying personally identifiable information, you're going to have to look at some type of FIPS validation or certification. And why wait till these companies are in the marketplace, to help or to shed light on that stuff up front. And that's part of what the podcast is. It's an extension of Winvale, where our mission is to bring a lot of this transparency, help companies make better decisions, stop wasting so much time. A lot of the companies we work with make it be the latest and greatest, the best technology or whiz-bang product. A lot of companies we talk to, we say, stay away from the marketplace because it's great what you provide, but the government's never going to buy it, or you might not need a specific type of contract vehicle like a GSA schedule. So go this way instead of investing $1 million to go down this rabbit hole. So the podcast, again, is an extension of Winvale, and our aim is really to be transparent and help, for the third time now, to help companies make better decisions.
Great. Well, thank you again, Kevin, for joining us, and you'll definitely be another guest coming up soon, so we appreciate it. Thanks for joining.
Well, thanks for having me.
Tune in for our next monthly Third Thursday podcast series, Off the Record with GTRA. Make sure you save the date for our GTRA and Health Tech Council Summit, June 28th through 30th in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, as well as our 5th Annual Converge Tech Awards, a recognition for technology leaders and innovators from government, healthcare, finance, and energy. Remember to nominate your peers and attend the Black Tie Awards Gala, where we announce the winners in a very exciting and dramatic envelope opening Oscar style. Also, be sure to save the date for our fall Secure Gov and Secure Health Council Summit, November 15th through 17th at the Homestead Resort in Virginia. Again, I'm your host, Shelly Yoakum, and I look forward to your topic ideas, feedback, and suggested podcast participants. So feel free to reach out to me directly at shelly@gtra.org.